WWE Elimination Chamber from down under in Australia, Perth. You know, to be more exact. Anyway, um, look, it's Elimination Chamber. This is going to be fun. Who doesn't like chambers? I think it's one of the better gimmicks that they have. Um, where you can sort of just do it and it doesn't have to be a reason, like for instance, Hell in a Cell. But anyway, I wish that they could do it at different times of the year, but I understand why they keep it like this. It makes sense. But also, I've been seeing everybody talking about it as one of the more predictable ones, or predictable PLEs that we've had. I don't really disagree with that. So, but I was like, well, I'm going to get the picks, and we all probably know who the pick might be. I do think there might be a swerve here. I was like, I was like, just get into it. Let's just get knocked out the way. Let's just go ahead and just do the main headline of Rhea and Nia Jax. I don't think this close to WrestleMania that Nia Jax will win. If this would have been like somewhere else in the middle of the year where Rhea would have had a chance to get it back, then I would say so. I don't think they would do nothing crazy either to have Rhea lose here. One, I was like, I mean, granted, his hometown, but I was like, I wouldn't say that necessarily means anything. But I don't see a way like Nia wins it, goes into WrestleMania, and somehow this winner, this Elimination Chamber, and comes out, and Rhea somehow finds her way also. Don't get me wrong. I was like, that's something else leading to my other thing, but I don't know if they would do something like that. I'd be down for it if Nia wins here, shocking, all in her hometown. I mean, being her in her hometown, Nia's on top. She's been squashing everybody all year. She beat Becky. I was like, the only person she had to really beat is Rhea, but they never had a one-on-one or pinning or something like that. And then Rhea now has to go into WrestleMania and win and get that big pop or whatever. I was like, me personally, I would do it just to give some intrigue. I was like, not just to do it, but I think it would be intriguing and you could build it that way, but they're not. I think Rhea's going to win. The Judgment Day versus I'm going to say British Strong Style because I don't remember the new something Republic. I was like, I'm not going to remember that name. It's going to be Judgment Day here. I was like, they just formed. They just came through. This is really just the same showcasing that they're sort of doing, like how they did with DIY, to sort of get them going so that later on in the future, when they're doing stuff, okay, cool. But I was like, it's going to be Judgment Day. I was like, there's really no other plans for Finn Balor or Damian Priest really at WrestleMania, at least at this moment, because Priest got the briefcase. Then I'm like, they're going to go into WrestleMania as tag team champs where they'll lose so they can finally get it like off of them. Maybe they do a split, that kind of thing. But they're going to go into WrestleMania with this. So I'm like, this is not no shock or nothing like that. All right, so now the men's chamber. Now, of course, I was like, let's go with the obvious pick. It's Drew McIntyre. Now, I was like, the problem is that I was like, while I was like in other circumstances, I'm like, to build also with Drew's story, I'm like, you could have him lose, kind of just sort of build to, you could do something where it's like he had it again and something went awry that is his fault but not his fault. The only problem is I'm like, there's nobody else in the chamber that I feel like caused that. I was like, Logan Paul, Seth Rollins, you're not doing that. I was like, KO, Seth Rollins, no. I was like, you're Randy Orton. That could be intriguing, just because, I mean, if there was a way to get Randy Orton, I guess his next title or something like that. But and LA Knight's not. He's not winning. So I don't even know what we're doing here with that one. But yeah, so Randy could be the dark horse, but it's to me, I'm like, there's really no dark horses in this situation of like potential person. Yeah, so Drew gets it. Yeah, I was like, yeah, there's no one else that's intriguing, so we're gonna move on. The women's one. Now, the consensus pick that everybody's going with is Becky. Now, everybody else got some form of reason or way that's a lot more than the men's. I was like, oh yeah, also with the men's, I was like, I forgot his name, Bobby Lashley, but the reason I forgot his name because I was like, he's not gonna win it. So Bianca is a good one, and I think that even though they've been building Becky and Rhea, I'm like Bianca and Rhea is a WrestleMania match. Is basically I was like, there's a reason why they sort of have been separate on brand because those are the two next people that you're building up. They're basically Charlotte, and then when it was Sasha and Becky or whatever you want to say of the two. So I'm like, Rhea and Bianca are really that, and I sort of expect that I would think it'd be cool if Rhea went and fought Bianca at WrestleMania, and that just becomes like a set of matches that just happen through periodically throughout the year or something like that, where it's like Bianca gets it here, keeps that streak going. I was like, Rhea loses, Rhea comes back at SummerSlam, beat Bianca. I was like, something at Survivor Series and then come back at WrestleMania and it's like a 4-piece, something like that. I don't know. That's for a different discussion. But there's reasoning there. Becky, of course, she needs the match in order to still feel like she got it. Liv, Rhea took her arm out, but I don't see Liv as, let's be honest, Liv is, I was like, I like Liv, but I was like, I can also attest that she's not a WrestleMania match opponent. Raquel, I was like, Rodriguez just came back, and I don't think that would be bad. I was like, I guess it's just so short timing, but I was like, they never really got to have their proper series of matches, so I could see that. But here for WrestleMania, I was like, they're going to go to big headline, but also somebody that can make you think that Rhea's going to lose. Tiffany Stratton, I just think it's just too new in order to basically do anything with that. But I think from a story perspective that it's like Becky, it's like I gotta find my way to WrestleMania, so to Bianca too as well. You got Liv and Raquel, both are people who got injured by two of the opponents in the main that's gonna be in the main event. So it's like they both also could have a right for it. I was like Tiffany and Naomi. I just think I like they're new to where I'm like they don't really have a story plot line in order to really do anything. But because Becky's like, I need to find a way to WrestleMania. I need to find a way to WrestleMania. I think that she could lose to end up still being in WrestleMania. And my big swerve that she loses, but finds her way to WrestleMania to make it a triple threat. And they end up doing a better job of the Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch storyline. And that's why I think that the winner is going to be Bianca. I think in the match, Tiffany Stratton is going to eliminate Becky to get her lick back for Becky beating her for the title and then retaining the title against her. I think that would be a good storyline. I think Bianca wins it because I was like that way she gets to look at as the chamber beater. I was like, she already won one. She won another one. She gets to go to WrestleMania where she gets to be like, cool, I got my streak. I got something I could do, all that other stuff. Becky's frantic. Becky's like, I don't have a way. I don't know how to get my way in. I was like, I guess it's over or something like that, blah, blah. And somehow, some way, she sort of finagles her way into the triple threat. Everybody keeps on talking about a triple threat at WrestleMania because it's the tens and all that other stuff, and everybody's just like, oh, with the men's stuff, and I'm like, we're overlooking that. Hey, maybe they do it and it's with the women's, and it's Becky Lynch finding her way in there like she wanted to. She gets her match against Rhea, but it's also Becky there too. I mean Bianca there too. two of the top people, and I know Becky and Becky Bianca has history as well too. I'm just saying, you get your top main star all in one match, and you could do it in a creative way because it's like Rhea sort of just been beaten through everybody. So it's like she gonna beat Nia, who basically been at the top. She beat the 5 women before, so guess what? But except for those 5 women that she basically beat outside Nia, it's like, yeah, but they ain't Becky and Bianca. Or we just get Becky to win. And it just be done with it, and everything set in stone, and then nothing goes awry. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. The Grayson Waller effect is supposed to also have Seth Rollins and Cody. And that's just supposed to be another segment. Probably be I imagine they probably start the show with Elimination Chamber. They probably have like the sandwich. I feel like they probably have one Elimination Chamber. I would probably say the men's elimination. I was like, I wish we could do something crazy, like they pop in, like do the women's chamber, like somehow, like say Rhea loses the night and she pops into the chamber, but not gonna happen. I think they're gonna start out with the women's chamber. I was like, I think then it's gonna be the tag matches. Then I think it's gonna be the women's elimination chamber. Then I think it's gonna be the Waller effect, and then I think it's gonna be the main event. That way you can sort of, if it's just a regular Waller effect, that way you sort of get people just like calm down enough for the main event that they can go crazy, get their energy back for. But what I think is going to happen, I think that the Bloodline is going to show up during the Waller effect. And I ain't talking about this Jimmy and Solo. I was like, I don't know what The Rock is, but I think Roman and them will show up. But I wouldn't be surprised. I was like, but to me, I was like, if you wanted to really do something here, I was like, have them show up, beat the hell out of Cody and Seth, and just be in the thing. I was like, that way they technically are at Elimination Chamber, even though they didn't do the Elimination Chamber. But anyway, that's how I feel like the card might go. I was like, I threw in some of my own stuff to see if we could spice it up, give it a little bit of something that it makes it where it's like, oh, I gotta see this, instead of like, oh, I'm gonna watch it, of course, but I gotta see it. And of course, nobody gonna know about that until live, unless since it's late for all the East Coast. I mean, like the Americans and stuff like that here. Maybe that gets you more intrigued to watch it afterward, where you wake up and you're just like, what the hell happened at the Elimination Chamber? I need to, maybe that's something else. But anyway, those are my predictions. That's what I think. We'll see how this all goes. Until then, next time or after this, that's what we're gonna do.